Want to learn Korean? Come visit talktomeinkorean.com to find the best Korean lessons for you.
So this is a lesson on various ways to say you in Korean. 안녕하세요, 선현우입니다. Hi, I'm Hyunwoo from talktomeinkorean.com, and this is a video lesson where I will try to explain and introduce several different ways, mainly 10 different ways to say you in Korean. And we have made already some lessons on the topic of how to say you and how not to say you, but every time we post something, either on YouTube or on Twitter, there seem to be more words and titles that you want to know more about. So this is my attempt to introduce all of them in one video. So the first word is, without any further ado, 당신, 당신. 당신, it can be a romantic word, a poetic word. You might hear 당신 in several song lyrics and movie lines and stuff, but do not use 당신 to somebody in person yourself because it can be a fight-starting word and it's too literary. It's often only found in written text, and also you will find 당신 in many English learning textbooks for Korean people just because they want to specify that you is there. So 당신은 so in textbooks you will see 당신, in song lyrics you will see 당신 as a romantic meaning, but in real life Korean you will rarely, if ever, have to say 당신 to anyone. So don't use it. And then 그대. 그대 is also a very romantic word, a term of endearment. So it's like you, but more like dear, my love, or something like that. So 그대, you can often see 그대 in these forms. 그대여, hey you, dear you, 그대에게, to you, 그대와 함께, with you. All very poetic, romantic expressions that you will rarely have to say yourself verbally, but maybe in a love letter you could say 그대. And then 너, you might know this one really well. 너 is you when you speak to somebody in 반말, casual language. Be very, very careful with casual language. But if you are very close to that person is younger than you or the same age as you, you can say 너 to mean you. And 자네, we talked about it briefly before. By the way, if there are related lessons that you can actually watch or listen to or read, I will link everything down below in the description of the video. So the next one is 자네. 자네 is used when an older person, for example, a 할아버지 age person, a grandfather age person, somebody in their 60s or maybe 50s, maybe 70s, is referring to somebody much younger, 자네, and that is also relatively rare compared to some other ways to say you. And 그쪽 is also very common. 그쪽 literally means that side, far away from you and maybe closer to the other person. 그쪽. So that side, hey, you who is on the other side, So it can be used in, I guess, text messages, online chats, and also in person, 그쪽, but it's not the most polite term of all. So I would be careful with 그쪽 as well. But if you hear 그쪽 coming from somebody's mouth, you can, it can also, of course, literally mean over there, 그쪽으로 가세요, go that way. But, you can look at the context, and if it is some kind of a subject of a verb, it's you, okay? And then, of course, when you are talking to somebody who is probably obviously middle-aged and probably somebody's dad, somebody's uncle, you can say 아저씨. And an equivalent to that for females is 아줌마. I don't feel upset or anything anymore when a kid addresses me as 아저씨, but 아줌마, you want to be a little more careful with that because some people don't like 아줌마, being called 아줌마. So 아저씨, 아줌마, but somebody in their 60s or 50s wouldn't really mind being addressed as 아저씨. 아저씨는 어디 가세요? These 아저씨 and 아줌마, these terms are not only used when you want to get their attention, they can actually be used to mean you. 아저씨는 어디 가세요? 아저씨는 누구예요? Who are you? You know, stuff like that. And then the next one is one of the most common ways to say you, which is to use that person's name and say 씨 or 님. 님 is a little more formal, not necessarily more polite, but more formal. So 씨. And for example, we have our newest member, Yeji. I talk to her, and whenever I want to say you to her, I say 예지 씨는 in every sentence. I know it might sound a little awkward, but I actually do use 예지 씨는, 예지 씨가 in every single sentence where I want to say you. Almost every single sentence, because there's this next thing that you need to know about, which is when you don't want to use that person's name or other title, like 사장님, 선생님. 사장님 is president of a business. 선생님 is a teacher. 의사 선생님 is a doctor. If you don't want to use that person's name over and over again, or a social title over and over again, you can just omit it if the context is super clear and, you know, guides the other person really well. But you need, in most cases where you speak 존댓말 to the other person, formal language, you need to use 시 in cases where you want to be polite. So for example, 뭐 드실래요? 뭐 드실래요? By using 드실래요, using this polite formal form of 먹다, I'm automatically referring to the other person, like you. So 뭐 먹어요? It can be about the other person, but it's not very clear. So 뭐 드실래요? By being honorific, the other person knows that, he or she is talking about me. Another example, I'm not saying any word that actually means you, but listen to this sentence. 어디에 사세요? 어디에 사세요? 살다, to live. 사세요, I'm using the honorific conjugation. 어디에 사세요? Or 어디 사세요? I'm not saying any word for you, but the question is directly toward the other person. And what kind of work do you do? If you want to ask that kind of question, you can say 어떤 일 하세요? So you can listen for that 시 or 세 and guess that they're talking about you, yourself, even if they don't say any word that means you literally. So I went over several words in this video rather quickly, but let me sum everything up. So the first word was 당신, very romantic, poetic, or rude. 그대, romantic, poetic, not necessarily rude in any case, but very literary. 너, when you are speaking casually with someone. 자네 is from usually an older guy to a younger person. And 그쪽 is very neutral when you don't know the other person really well, but somebody can take it as an offensive word, 그쪽, because it's not the most polite. And 아저씨, 아줌마, middle-aged man, middle-aged woman, and using somebody's name plus 씨 or name plus 님. 님 is slightly more formal than 씨, and you can also use that person's social title or just omit you altogether and use honorific suffixes like 시 or conjugated forms like 세요. Okay? So when you say 앉으세요, just like in English, you're saying sit down, please. You're not saying you sit down, right? That you is omitted, but it just happens more often in more cases in Korean. All right, so that was a lot of information that I just threw at you. I hope that wasn't too overwhelming. And if you found any bit of the information that I just gave you a little insufficient, please let us know and we'll try to explain further in comments or in a follow-up video. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching and studying Korean with talktomeinkorean.com. We are very, very grateful. By the way, we are on Instagram and on Twitter too, so please follow us over there as well if you are not following us already. And I'll see you next time. 감사합니다. Bye-bye.